probably best that I don't stay here too long, and maybe it would be good for both of us to pretend that we never met in the first place.
I don't know. We're still a long ways away from your destination. And there won't be another car driving down the mountain for hours. It would be wrong of me to leave you on the side of the road after all we've been through in this short time.
I guess, but why were you even on that side of the mountain anyways? Everyone knows there's tons more people once you go down the hill and hit that small intersection going into town.
You're right. I've hung out down there before. But to be honest, I always try to stay away from people as much as I can.
To avoid getting caught?
No. I've been doing this for years with nothing but a missing persons case linked to my name a while back. But that was dropped pretty quickly once they realized they had the wrong suspect.
You sure dodged that one. I don't know what I would do if the cops ever found out about my little business.
It would certainly bring an end to everything if I was caught. But yeah, I stay away from people simply because I don't like them or get along with them.
Maybe that's why you're so good at your job.
I wouldn't call it a job. It's more just a fun afternoon hobby, really. I go to work during the day just like everyone else does. Though the real business starts when I'm taking the back roads on my way home. Listen, I'm trying to keep an open mind about this entire situation, but if you're going to be riding in this car for as long as we're going, I'm going to need to ask you to put that sword away.
Oh, right. Sorry about that.
Set sword down beside her.
I'll put it away if you do promise not to pull anything stupid. What have you got on you?
Reaches into pants pocket.
I've got a crumpled movie ticket and 3 nickels. Other than that, nothing at all.
You know what I mean, asshole. How many knives do you have hiding under that coat of yours?
To be honest, other than my arsenal in the trunk, I've got nothing.
You don't carry a knife on you? Not a single gun tucked away in your sweater pocket? What kind of a killer are you?
To be fair, I am off hours. And I wasn't exactly expecting to run into
Somebody like yourself?
Yeah, someone like us.
He opens his coat and turns out his pockets so the passenger can see that they're empty.
See, I've got nothing. You can trust me.
Trust is a funny word for a serial killer like yourself to be throwing around, but okay. I trust you as much as somebody in our profession could possibly trust another human being.
She puts her sword in the back seat.
So you said you were off hours? Why? The weather's great, the people are all outside hitchhiking, and as far as I'm concerned, now is the best season to do what we do best.
That's the thing. I'm honestly not sure if this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
What do you mean?
Well, that's sort of why I'm in this car right now. I needed time to drive and think and contemplate whether or not this is really what I want to do with my life.
Well, what else would you do if you weren't killing?
To start, I'd probably pick up lots more shifts down at the bowling alley. And then once I saved enough money there, I'd pack up and move to a brand new town. I'd maybe even meet some friends while I'm at it.
Friends are good to have. It's just a shame that I either end up needing to pack my shit and leave in the middle of the night due to mishaps in my plans, or I end up getting hired to kill them. That's always the worst. I really do hate how hard it is to keep friends while you're working this kind of gig.
Wait a minute. So you're a hitman?
Contract killer, actually. It's complicated, really, and the business isn't for everyone. If you think killing might not be the thing for you, it's never too late to change your appearance and leave this town in your dust before you get yourself tied up into more serious stuff.
What could be more serious than what I've been up to around here?
Ah, fuck. I don't know how to explain this to you the easy way, but contract killing is different. You have to be in the right place at the right time, and you have to try your hardest to make sure the person doesn't know that you're trying to kill them until it's too late.
Interesting.
Sometimes you have to make them think that you're on their side, and that can be difficult as hell. The worst part is when I start to like the people I was hired to off. At that point, the job becomes practically impossible.
So how do you do it?
Well, sometimes I chicken out, you know? I get too close to the person, or at least get to know them a bit, and since I can't kill them at that point, I just let them go.
How many times have you chickened out?
Well, you'll be my fourth.
Excuse me?
Listen, this got out of hand way too quickly. When they told me to stand on the side of the mountain road at exactly 4:45 p.m., I didn't think I'd be getting into the car of another goddamn serial killer.
Hold on a second. You were waiting for me there?
Maybe.
And someone told you to kill me. Why the hell would somebody want to off me?
Well, for starters, you're a fucking serial killer. You should be asking yourself that question. And second, I don't know. I take my orders from my clients and I don't ask too many questions.
I can't believe this.
I told you I was chickening out. What more could you want?
I want to know who wants me dead.
Think back. Do you have any enemies? Have you messed up any sort of friendship in the past 10 years? You've got to have some clue of who would send me here.
I told you, I'm not a people person, and everyone I know is pretty indifferent toward me as far as I know.
Could it be someone who knows about your little game?
What game?
Listen, friend, I'm not stupid. The two of us are playing a game, and neither of us knows how the hell to get out of this situation.
Well, isn't this fucking great? I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to be a killer anymore. I want to go and live a normal life and do normal people stuff like reading and tennis and not killing people. God damn it, I just want this game to be over.
I know how you feel. Listen, it's been nice talking to you, but would you mind dropping me off at the nearest corner store? My client's going to be calling me soon, and I'm going to have to tell them that you drove off as fast as you could before I could even make conversation.
She begins to pack up her stuff.
That being said, you should probably lay low for the next little bit. Take the next week off or so. You wouldn't want anyone finishing off what I tried to start.
Thanks for the warning. And you know, thanks for not killing me and stuff.
No problem. That's what friends are for. We are friends, right? You can drop me off over there. I think the two of us need to move on with our days and forget this ever happened.
I understand. And yes, after all that's gone on today, I would definitely consider you my friend.
Pulls over car.
I'm glad.
Gets out of car.
After a day like today, I might need a vacation or two.
End of C1. C2. Setting pawn shop. Driver is looking at guitars on the wall and comparing prices when passenger sneaks up behind him.
So is this another one of your hobbies?
Jeez, you scared me.
Puts guitar back on the wall.
And no, not yet anyways. But if I'm gonna be going legit, I'll need something to do with all my spare time.
It's not a bad skill to pick up, but if you want a guitar that will last you a long time, you might want to go with one of these.
Points to a different guitar on the wall.
They're a lot better, but they're a bit more expensive compared to the other kinds.
Oh, that's alright. Money's not an issue. Not today anyways.
What, did you get a raise?
Not exactly. My boss is way too cheap for that. To be honest, I was doing a lot of thinking after our conversation, and I decided to come here and sell the arsenal I was keeping in my trunk.
Good for you. That kind of stuff can be hard to part with. What excuse did you use for bringing in such a big collection?
I told him I was cleaning out my old man's house, and that he was really fond of hunting.
Did they buy the story?
They looked at me a little funny at first, but they didn't ask too many questions once they realized how much money they could make off of all of it.
He picks up a different guitar off the wall.
What do you think about this one?
I think it's pretty. Why don't you try it out?
Oh, I'm not very good. I only know a few chords. I was just going to take one home and practice there.
If you ever wanted to jam sometime, I've got a guitar in my Jeep. It's been years since I had a partner to play with, and I'd be happy to teach you a few songs if you wanted.
That would be fun. I'll have to get a little better at this before then, but wait a second. You have a freaking Jeep? What happened to hitchhiking?
Oh, right. I can explain, but I can't do it here. Do you want to go outside and we can talk in a bit of a less populated area?
Sure. This better be a good freaking story.
They both go outside.
So, about the whole having a car thing. I promised I wasn't lying about needing a ride when you picked me up on the mountain last month. I've honestly only had it for 2 weeks. After you dropped me off after our awkward encounter, I got a phone call from a guy I've worked with for a few times before. He must hate a lot of people, but he pays well every time, so I try not to ask questions. It was an easy job. It only took me 45 minutes by the time I got rid of the evidence. Between the money the poor sucker had on him and the dough I made from the contract, I had enough to buy a Jeep, and there was even enough left over for me to get some sick new knives.
That's awesome. I can see why you prefer doing this stuff on a contract. The pay must be sweet.
It is. But I'm broke again, and to be honest, I was planning on moving in a few months, getting out of town, the country even, so I really need some extra money.
Have you gotten any jobs since then?
One, but that's not near enough for what I'm trying to do, which kind of brings me to why I'm here. I didn't exactly get rid of all the evidence, and I figured I'd pawn some of the things I took to make some extra cash. It's not much, but it's a few dollars towards moving out, so I guess I can't complain.
Don't you think it's a bit risky?
I only kept a few souvenirs, and I've done it before, so I guess it's not too bad. Don't you ever keep souvenirs?
I have in the past, but I try not to anymore. Anyways, what kind of stuff did you take from this guy?
a pocket watch, a miniature dagger, and a really expensive looking ring. The ring was prettier than any I've ever seen before. I wanted to keep it, but the guy at the front offered me a great deal for everything I brought in, so I figured I'd let it go.
Did he try to fight you back with the dagger?
It was in his back seat. By the time he realized I wasn't your average Tuesday afternoon hitchhiker, it was too late for him to reach back and grab it. He did try to give me a black eye with that ring of his, but let's just say he had a little run-in with my sword before he had the chance to actually hit me. Fuck, I think I might have said that too loud.
He checks her phone.
I should really get going, but if there's anything I can do to help you on your journey of getting out of this crazy little hobby, let me know.
Driver thinks for a moment, then searches through his pockets, grabs a black notebook.
You know, there might actually be something you could help me with in this.
What's that?
I got myself into a bit of a mess. A bit of a messed up situation last week. But now that I think about it, you might not be that messed up after all. We might even be able to help each other out. After work on Wednesday, I ended up at a bar a few blocks away from my work. And this guy and I got talking about killing and stuff.
And?
And I may have gotten a little too confident. And by confident, I mean drunk. And I didn't exactly mention to him that I didn't want to be a killer anymore. As the night went on, well, it was all a bit of a blur, but I remember him giving me this.
Holds up the notebook and shows her a few of the pages.
I can't tell if this is an address book or a freaking hit list.
It's both. There's a phone number in the back. I was supposed to call it once I looked through the notebook and agreed to the contract. But I've never done contract killing before. I was just bragging and having a little fun while him and I were talking. I didn't think he'd actually try to hire me on the spot. But I took the book and I've been freaking out ever since.
So, what are you gonna do about it?
That's the thing. He said there was a huge paycheck involved, bigger than I could ever imagine. But I want to have a normal life again, and I don't think killing is going to fit into that life. Like I said, I don't want to do this killing shit anymore, and no amount of money in the world can convince me otherwise. You know, you're a lot more serious about this stuff than I will ever be again. Do you want to take these jobs? You might need to stay in town a little longer than you planned because of spacing things out and taking time to plan. But by the time you got through the list, you'd have more than enough money to get yourself a new home in a new town.
Oh my god, I'd love to take this book off your hands, but are you sure you're not gonna need all that money? You do know how much you make off this shit, right?
I know. But I think it might be better for me to make money at the bowling alley instead. It would do me a world of good to get out of the house and take more shifts. And it would get me on track to living a life I really want to live.
In that case, I'd be honored to take these jobs from...
Passenger phone ring.
Hello? Hey, listen, this is a really bad time. No, I don't know him. Oh, that one. Yeah, I just didn't know what his name was. No, I really have to go. Obviously, yes, it's in my bag. It's my sharpest one, you know that. I know, kill him when I see him, blah, blah, blah.
Hangs up the phone.
Who the hell was that?
You don't want to know. But it's definitely in your best interest that I get going.
She turns to walk away, but stops.
But wait, if you're not going to be killing anymore, does that mean you're going to stop hanging around other killers?
I guess so. But you'll be the exception.
Hey, Kurt, be careful, dude. You never know who's trying to kill you.
Walks away. The end.